Most people who go through aesthetic training come out the other side ready to see patients. They're skilled, they're certified, they're excited, and they jump straight into finding a space and booking clients. And then 6 months later, they're stressed, underpaid, and wondering why their practice isn't growing the way they imagine. 9 times out of 10, it's not a skills problem. It's a foundation problem. Today, I'm giving you the top 3 things you must have in place before you open your med spa so you build it right the first time. Welcome back to Tip Tuesday. I'm Dr. Natasha, Doctor of Nursing Practice, board certified family nurse practitioner, aesthetic professional, and founder of Abraza Skincare, Abraza Skin Institute, and Abraza Skin Studio Med Spa. Every Tuesday, I give you one actionable tip to help you build smarter. If you are planning to open a med spa or aesthetic practice, this series is exactly where you need to be. Let's get into it. These are the 3 non-negotiables that determine whether your med spa survives its first year or becomes another statistic. Get your legal house in order before you see a single patient. This is the step most new providers, and the first step, okay, either rush through or skip entirely. And it is the one that can end your practice overnight if you get it wrong. Here is what this means in practice. Business entity formation. You need an LLC or PLLC, not a sole proprietorship, not your personal name. A properly structured entity separates your personal assets from your business liability. Consult a healthcare attorney, not just a general business attorney, because medical practice ownership has state-specific rules that vary significantly depending on your license type. Malpractice and liability insurance. General nursing malpractice policies frequently exclude aesthetic procedures. You need a policy that explicitly covers every service on your treatment menu. Neurotoxin, filler, laser, chemical peels, whatever you're offering. Read your policy. Do not assume you're covered. Collaborative or supervisory agreements, depending on your state and your license, RN, NP, PA, MD. You may be legally required to have a physician collaborator or supervisor of record before you can practice independently. This is not optional, and it is not bureaucratic paperwork. It is the legal framework that authorizes you to practice. Get it in writing, have it reviewed by a healthcare attorney, and make sure your collaborator is engaged and accessible, not just a name on a document. Now let's talk about HIPAA compliance. Your intake forms, your booking platform, your patient communication, all of it must be HIPAA compliant. There are affordable platforms built specifically for aesthetic practices. This is no excuse for cutting corners here. Bottom line, before you book your first patient, have your entity formed, your insurance active, your agreement signed, and your compliance infrastructure in place. Everything else builds on this foundation. If this is shaky, everything above it is a risk. Now, thing number 2, know your numbers before you spend $1. Build your financial model before you build your space. This is the second place new med spa owners get into serious trouble. They sign a lease, buy equipment, build out space, and then realize they have no idea how many patients they need to see each week just to break even. By the time they figure it out, they're already behind. Here is the financial framework I want you to build before you commit to a single overhead expense. Your startup costs. Equipment, supplies, furniture, licensing fees, website, branding, initial product inventory, legal fees, insurance premiums. Get real numbers, not estimates, not guesses. Call vendors, get quotes, build a spreadsheet. Your monthly overhead, your rent, your utilities, software subscriptions, insurance premiums, marketing budget, and any staff contractor costs. It's a lot, guys. It's not just rent. Add 15 to 20% as a buffer for expenses you haven't anticipated yet, because I promise you, every month something comes up, okay? Because there will always be expenses you haven't anticipated yet. Your revenue per service. What does it cost you to deliver each service? Okay, what are your consumables? Your product supplies, your time. What do you need to charge to be profitable after covering that cost and your overhead? And critically, what do you need to charge to also pay yourself, right? This is not just a hobby. This is a business. Your salary is not what's left over after expenses. Your salary is a line item in your financial model. Trust me, Many times the business has been paid, many times. Employees paid, and I wasn't paid. Okay? Your break-even patient volume. Divide your monthly overhead by your average revenue per appointment. That number tells you exactly how many patients you need to see each month before you make a single dollar of profit. Know that number, okay? I had to learn the hard way. Build your schedule around it. Track it every single month. This sets your goals. I have watched talented, well-trained providers close their doors, not because they couldn't deliver results, but because they never ran the numbers. Financial clarity is not optional in business ownership. It is survival, okay? Now, number 3, build your brand and patient pipeline before you open. Your marketing should start 60 to 90 days before your doors open. Listen, you still see Coca-Cola commercials, okay? This is the mistake that creates a silent opening. You finish your build out, you flip the sign to open, and you wait. And nobody comes because nobody knows you exist. Building your patient pipeline is not something you do after you open. It is something you do while you're setting up so that you have patients ready to book the moment you're ready to see them. And there's many ways you could do this, right? Establish yourself on Google, get busy on social media, share what you do with others, dig into your list of friends and family. Start your content. You don't need a patient in a chair to start creating content. Start your content. I'm telling you guys, I say this over and over, and so many times people ignore this. So by the time you're open, your audience already knows you, trusts you, and is ready to book. Build your referral network in advance. Offer a pre-launch VIP list. Start collecting numbers and emails, people you meet. Like, you have to be excited before you open, so others will be excited before you open. You know, your brand isn't just your logo. Your brand is the trust people have in you before they ever walk through the door. Build that trust early, build it consistently, and your opening will have momentum instead of crickets. And if you're in the planning stages of your med spa and you want hands-on training, clinical education, and real business guidance from someone who has actually built this, okay, I want you to visit AbrazaSkinInstitute.com or visit Abraza Skincare, and there's a link in the menu to get you to classes. I've been doing this going on 10 years, guys. I have bumped my head many times, and it was hard many times to dust my knees off and get back up. And one of the things I love doing is preparing people the right way to get in business. My classes are designed for nurses, NPs, estheticians, physicians who want to enter or expand in an aesthetic space with the clinical foundation and the business knowledge to do it right, okay? The link is in the description. Listen, drop MedSpot in the comments and tell me, where are you right now in your launch journey? Legal setup, financials, brandings. Tell me your biggest challenge and I'll answer directly this week. Now share this with someone in your aesthetic training program who is about to open without a plan. Subscribe for a new tip every Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.